So right off the bat, I just wanted to throw it out there that I'm not too sure what's going on here. I'm going to cover a few examples of some news regarding Haya products, but I'm not sure why these things are happening, and I'd really love this to be a community conversation. So if you have additional details, insider knowledge, please do share in the comments down below, and let's have a discussion about it. Um, but basically, a whole bunch of Haya stuff is just becoming unavailable in the United States. Moving over here, this was retweeted by Gormaru Island. This was somebody who emailed Haya Toys directly asking about Godzilla Evolved, and they said Godzilla Evolved hasn't been shipped yet. But also, due to the whole tariff situation in the US, the Haya Toys is not going to be shipping packages directly to the US for right now. This is obviously, not great, because Haya does take payment up front and it's direct from the manufacturer. So if you've ordered directly from Haya Toys, then you expect to get the product relatively soon and early as possible. But Haya Toys has said we're not doing that for the time being, just due to how volatile the situation is in the United States. And it's important to notice that it's not just shipments from China that are being affected here. So here's from CMD Store, which is a Canadian retailer that has a large US customer base, so much so that they have an entire website dedicated to the United States customer base, separate from their Canadian website. But they've also said that their shipments are not making it into the United States, and they're not really sure why. But you can see here that U.S. Customs and Border Protection has blocked or seized all of our shipments going into the U.S., and they only just found out when they inquired about it, and that they've begun the process of canceling and refunding orders because nothing's getting through, which is this is obviously not great either. And it really makes me wonder, what exactly is happening here. How, me up here in Canada, if something comes from another country, it shows up and then the courier charges me for the duties and import taxes. And it's never been a thing where they're just like, no, we're not bringing the product into the country, full stop. To even come from Canada and to be blocked outright is really bizarre. It's really, really bizarre. And part of this, what I think is going on, again, I'm not sure, but let's take a look here. So this is a screenshot that Michael took in trying to get the Shimo, Exquisite Basic Shimo from Haya delivered from AliExpress. So this is direct from China. And while the shipping is free, you can see in the additional charges, the total comes out to $195 US dollars. And he did the math, and this does equate to the 145% tariff that the United States has placed on shipments coming from China. So I think that looking at this gives me an idea of what might be happening with CMD Store and what might be happening with Haya Toys Direct. And it might have to do with the way that the whole tariff situation has been proposed by the current US administration. We've been told repeatedly that the exporting countries pay the tariff. The exporting countries pay the tariff. And I'm wondering if what's happening here is that if you are buying direct from China and then you give China the money to pay the tariff, then your package comes through okay. But then here in the issue of Canada and even the issue with Haya Toys Direct, unless CMD Store and Haya have paid the additional tariffs, they're just blocking the packages and will send them back. I don't know for certain. This is just, I wish I had my tinfoil hat. All right, I'm just taking a shot in the dark here. I don't know, because it's weird to me that the AliExpress is taking the tariff payment up front when they're over in China, whereas if Haya Toys was trying to get it to you direct and CMD Store was trying to get it to you direct, it's just not going through. Right? So this is hugely problematic. I don't know why these things are getting blocked at the border. And unfortunately, the situation seems to be getting even a little bit more precarious. So I've caught wind that Amazon US has made all of their Haya Exquisite Basic figures out of stock or currently unavailable, and has begun the process of canceling existing orders. I believe that Amazon stocks their Haya toys from Previews, which is the Diamond Comics distributor, whatever. And I can say that, at least at this time, I have an open pre-order on Amazon.ca for the Godzilla 91 Hokkaido suit, and that has not been canceled yet. I've had that order for well over a year at this point. And that has not been canceled as of yet. If it gets canceled, I'll update the description or pinned comment. So I don't know if Amazon is just consciously canceling these items. I don't know if it's a previews issue. If it was a previews issue, though, I think that we would have seen it through the other retailers. So just as an example, here's Big Bad Toy Store. They've still got their items up. And they've still got them for the MSRP, but keep in mind, excludes tariff charge, excludes tariff surcharge. We don't know what that surcharge is going to be until the item arrives, at which point customers will be given an option to pay the surcharge and receive their item, or they'll be able to get a full refund if they think that the tariff surcharge is not they don't want to pay the tariff surcharge, which again, totally understandable, right? Like, we are literally in a trade war. Everything's about to be more expensive. But here you can see PX Previews exclusive. So BBTS is sourcing these figures through Diamond. And Entertainment Earth is also sourcing these items through Diamond. Now, one thing to note here, the difference between Entertainment Earth and Big Bad Toy Store, is that Entertainment Earth is baking in the existing they're baking in the tariff charges and the additional expenses into the prices of these figures. And so, yeah, while Shimo here is 65 versus Shimo here being 60, Entertainment Earth, at least for the time being, is saying this is accounting for the tariff surcharge, whereas this one is not. We don't know what BBTS is going to charge when Shimo starts shipping, but for the time being, Entertainment Earth is saying that this is the price that will be charged once it starts shipping. I think that they've gone and increased, like, if you pre-ordered Shimo 8 months ago, they've gone ahead and increased the amount that you will be charged, which is unfortunate. It sucks. And, like, if I could just hammer this home, I don't think there's any good place to stand for these companies right now in the middle of a trade war, right? Like, Super 7's doing this thing, people have issues with it. Big Bad Toy Store saying, hey, we're going to charge you, or we're going to tell you the charge amount when it comes in and you make the decision. Like, that's great. And it's good that they're giving people an out, but it's still, they're still going to charge you more money for it. People say, like, oh, you're defending companies. I'm not defending companies. I'm just saying it's a real shit situation for everybody involved. I don't think there's a good place to stand. Different companies are handling this in different ways. So, Entertainment Earth going back in and retroactively changing what the pre-order amount is. Yeah, it sucks. It really does suck. I feel for you. I'm totally behind the idea that it sucks and that you should cancel your order if you can't bear it. I also don't know what else these companies are supposed to do. Like, there are some places out there that are able to eat these additional expenses, but at least Big Bad Toy Store, Super 7, and Entertainment Earth have all come out and said, we've tried to eat it and we can't do it entirely. So, yeah, it's literally a war, right? Like, it's a trade war. The name war, the title of war, should tell you that, like, it's a really bad place to be right now, and there's no good place to stand. So I'm not sure what the future looks like right now, or at least what the whole situation looks like right now. I'm not sure why Haya Toys packages and packages from Canada are being blocked at the border. If it's the US trying to implement a system where they only get through if the exporter pays the fee, because that's what it looks like AliExpress is at least setting up a system to look like. And I don't know why Amazon has just blanket canceled all of their Haya Godzilla stuff. And maybe other Godzilla stuff, or maybe other Haya stuff. I haven't really looked at it. But for the time being, it does look like Big Bad Toy Store and Entertainment Earth are going to be the best options for getting Haya stuff. It's unfortunate that, you're going to have to wait those extra few months. There was a question Big Bad Wolf commented on the YouTube post I made. Like, is it even legal for Haya to not ship an item that you've paid for? And I really don't know. I think that in some circumstances, when you purchase the item, you agree to a contract, right? But if the economic conditions change such that that contract cannot be fulfilled in its intended form, then the contract needs to be renegotiated. I think that any company who is impacted by tariffs should give their customers an option to opt out and to cancel pre-orders and to get refunds, and to be super transparent about what is going on, right? Customers don't need companies necessarily, but companies need customers, and you really do need to be listening to what people are asking for. And I think people are just looking for clarity and transparency. There's been some really good messaging out there. There's been some messaging where it's like, it could be a little bit more detailed and explain a little bit more. So this is the situation. If you know more information, please do comment down below. I'm not sure what's going on, and I really hope it doesn't get to a point where I need to understand what's going on. I really hope that in 2-3 weeks time, this is all just behind us. I don't expect the tariffs to disappear entirely. I do expect that they'll remain in some form, but maybe 10-20%, something workable. 145% is just crazy. It's just insane. For all the folks down in the United States that are being impacted by this, you have my Canadian sympathies, man. Like, I am so sorry for what this is doing. I'm sure there are many, just customers being impacted. I'm sure there are lots of employers and employees that are now, struggling, that are really struggling. And it's not something I'm jealous of whatsoever. So that's going to be it for me. Again, let me know in the comment section down below if you know more information about this. Really, really curious to learn more about the situation and to get some clarity for all you folks. So thanks, guys, and I'll talk to you again soon.